Hello, protagonists. Today we're going to talk about levels. Levels are not something easy to talk about because they're really touching something very sensitive, which is your compensation. Different companies have different level systems, but generally speaking, it's mostly about segmenting the employees into groups, and those groups will have different levels of compensations, like salary ranges, and also different perks, access to information, and other different way that they operate. Like it's really every company will operate slightly differently to a point where sometimes even levels might not be official in the way that for example, at Ubisoft, the leveling system is secret, right? You don't know what is your actual level. Ubisoft use a leveling system to compare employees across all their studios, and therefore they don't want you to compare yourself with another employee of the same level of experience in another country, because that will create some issues internally, obviously. Amazon also have a leveling system that is on their site fully transparent. Everyone know what level they have, right? I was level 7 I was level 7 at Amazon, and everyone knew about it. There was even an app that could convert the naming and the level you have in the internal web tool. And I think they called me like a starship captain because they're a Star Trek mod, right? Anyway, so that's every organization has different systems. What matters to you today for your career is to understand what is the leveling system of your organization, where do you stand on it, and how can you level up to get better compensation, better perks, and better access to key information, strategic information that will help you in your career. The challenge, I would say, is also when organizations move from a system where there are no levels to a system with levels, which is a normal process in the life of a company. Obviously, when you're a young startup, you can't afford to have levels. You need people to do a lot of different things. You have people very different levels, and obviously, as you mature and you grow and you have more people working on it, you need to try to make a system that is fair and transparent. And this is when levels are usually implemented, and that could be quite challenging. For instance, I used to work at Frogster, and Frogster is a company that got eventually acquired by Gameforge, but at one point, they decided to implement levels. When I joined, there were no levels. People had different titles, but they were not connected to the experience, but more about the function. But when they decided to implement levels, people started to see that their level compared to their own colleagues, and that created issues. When my level was revealed as being an associate director, people were shocked. They actually didn't realize that I was an associate director. And of course, there was some jealousy, and that was an interesting time in HR, I would say. But because I was not the only one, I think there was difference in levels. People felt they were higher than others. There could be a bit of conflict and all this. But these are healthy discussions that need to happen, because some people sometimes are a bit misled not misled. They sometimes have a false perception of their own level of experience. And you need to have those kind of frank discussion to say, okay, well, you think you're level 5, but actually we see you more as a level 4. And the question that you need to ask is, of course, why? What am I missing? Why I'm not level 5, 6, 7, whatever? And that's when you need to start working with your manager and the organization to define what is your path to success. Like, what are the skills you need to unlock, where you need to get better to start to level up. And that's the advantage of levels. This level of transparency provides will help you to move forward in your career, to focus on what really matters. Of course, not every organization is very mature and have all the tools to help. My hope is that one day we can have some public, material I could share on this in our community. We can say, hey, this is how skill metrics works. You could use this as a template, or this is how leveling system they potentially could use as a studio. I think it would be good if people in our industry were sharing more about these best practices, but obviously every business needs to adapt to their own needs and their own situations. So this was about levels. I hope it was helpful. Of course, if you have any comments, questions, please ask in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. We need all the support we can get, and yeah, talk to you soon. Ciao!